What if the real reason is because you've been following the exact same broken playbook that Shopify gurus have been recycling for years? The one that leaves you chasing tiny profit margins, competing with thousands of copycats, and working harder and harder just to stay stuck in place. Before I start, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my #1 recommendation in the description below. Well, according to entrepreneur Eric Sapola, that's exactly what's happening. And unless you change your approach, you're going to burn yourself out and quit, just like he almost did. But here's the twist. Eric didn't quit. He made one small but powerful tweak to his business model. And within 12 months, he pulled in $286,461 in revenue, all without selling cheap products from China, all without guessing what the next winning product might be, and all without relying on Facebook ads. So what did he do? Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to walk you through his story, the strategy he discovered, and why he believes it's the only Shopify model worth your time in 2025 and beyond. Let's start with the obvious. The old way of dropshipping doesn't work anymore. You know the drill. You find a low-ticket product on AliExpress or some other Chinese supplier. You throw it up on your Shopify store. You slap on some flashy Facebook ads. You cross your fingers and pray people buy. And maybe, if you're lucky, you get a few sales. But here's the catch. Your margins are razor thin. The moment someone copies your store, which will happen within days, you're toast. And the second Facebook ad costs creep up, there goes your entire profit. 5 years. That's half a decade of grinding, studying courses, launching stores, testing products, spending thousands on ads, and still coming up empty. Imagine working that hard and still feeling like you're no closer to freedom than when you started. At this point, Eric was ready to throw in the towel. He'd tried everything the so-called experts were teaching. He had gone all in, and yet the dream was slipping further away. But instead of walking away completely, he decided to give it one last shot. And this time, he asked himself a different question. What if the problem isn't me? What if the problem is the model itself? That's when he started to rethink everything he'd been told. And after 3 months of deep research, he came up with a concept that would change everything for him. He called it high-ticket piggybacking. Here's how it works. Instead of wasting time trying to sell cheap trinkets with no real brand behind them, Eric decided to partner with luxury brands that already had credibility and demand. Think about it. If someone is already searching for a $2,000 massage chair, or a $5,000 piece of home gym equipment, or a $10,000 luxury watch, do you really need to convince them to buy? No, they're already sold on the idea. They're just looking for a trusted store to purchase from. And that's where you come in. By piggybacking on these established high-ticket brands, Eric was able to cut out all the noise. No more wasting weeks on product research. No more running ads to cold audiences, hoping someone impulse buys a $30 gadget. Instead, he was showing up in front of people who were actively typing into Google, best luxury recliner for back pain, by high-end espresso machine, premium outdoor kitchen set. These people weren't window shopping. They were buyers. And when they landed on Eric's store, the products sold themselves. Now let's talk results. When Eric first applied this method, he was skeptical, but he had nothing to lose. So he applied to a couple of luxury suppliers, got approved, and set up his store. In his very first month, he only made one sale. But here's the kicker. That one sale brought in $4,500 in revenue. At a 20% net margin, that was nearly $900 in profit for just one order. Compare that to selling a $30 phone case, where you'd be lucky to pocket $10. The next month, things really took off. He did $16,000 in sales. And by the end of year one, $286,461. That's nearly $300,000 built on a system that was actually sustainable. So why does high-ticket piggybacking work so well? Let's break it down. No endless product research. You're not chasing winning products. You're aligning with established brands that already have demand. No cheap junk from China. These are quality, luxury items people actually want and trust. You're building a business on real value, not gimmicks. Bigger margins. Instead of fighting for scraps, you're working with 20 to 40% net margins on products that sell for thousands. Traffic that converts. Google search traffic is way cheaper and way more intentional than Facebook ads. People searching on Google are buyers, not scrollers. Long-term growth. Because you're building relationships with trusted suppliers, you're not at risk of your store being obsolete overnight. Eric calls this the formula for building a real, long-term Shopify business. And honestly, it makes sense. Think about it. Would you rather sell 100 cheap products to make $1,000 or just one luxury product that makes you nearly the same amount in profit? Let's pause for a second, because I know some of you watching are still thinking, but I already bought courses from gurus teaching me the low-ticket model. Shouldn't I just keep trying harder? Eric has a blunt answer for you. No, he learned this the hard way. He spent years doing exactly that. Hours every day studying, testing products, running ads, hoping one of them would take off. But all he found was disappointment. Because the model itself is broken. If it worked, don't you think after 5 years and thousands of dollars spent, he would have been living the dream? Instead, he was broke, frustrated, and ready to quit. That's why he's so passionate about sharing this strategy now. He doesn't want you to waste years making the same mistakes he did. Of course, Eric's not just telling his story for fun. He's packaged everything he learned into what he calls his 6-figure Shopify system. Inside, he reveals step-by-step how to set up your own high-ticket piggybacking store, how to land supplier partnerships, how to run Google Ads the right way, and how to scale from your first sale to 6 figures and beyond. The cost, at the time of this recording, just $11.60 to get started. Pretty wild considering most Shopify gurus charge hundreds or even thousands just to get in the door. Now, fair warning, like most systems, there will be upsells once you're inside. But that's marketing. If the core idea makes sense to you and you're tired of wasting time on outdated strategies, this might be worth checking out. Before you leave, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my #1 recommendation. Click the link in the description to see the best business to start online, which made me over $26,000 last month alone. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more reviews and honest insights. Thanks for watching.